Peace, Amber.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, hey, hey. While I'm getting Instagram set up, how you doing today?
I am already
Oh, you're
low
not.
energy, but I'm alright.
All right, below energy. Okay, okay, cool, cool. We can rock with that. We can rock with that. We gonna tap in a little bit more on last week's topic, and I got a little bit more to add, cause my post yesterday was about expecting people to tiptoe around what triggers you is stupid. Learn to work through your triggers. All you can do is control. You can only control yourself. All right, so this stand isn't gonna work. Everything that I need. All right. I'll use blocks. This is not going the way I thought it would. Hold on. Plot twist. Plot twist. Like if y'all could see the behind the scenes, I look like Igor. Hold on. That should be the right height. And that should go here. And then where? Good. I get why people have why they have a whole broadcast team. Oh my gosh, it makes life easier. Peace and love. Let's get this recording started.
That would be like lowest stand and the whole other. Oh, have mercy. Okay, there we go. Y'all excuse my hair, Jesus.
My God. Okay, hold on. We start recording. One second. Boom. All right. Peace and love, kings, queens, and gods. My name is App FloatingYogi, and it's midday mind right. We're gonna take a moment, get our mind right, get some stuff off our chest, take a moment to breathe, realign ourselves, and then go back at the day. That's the purpose for the day. Last week we were chatting a little bit. Before I get into last week, let me pay some people. Right here, UE Urban Yogic Wellness and Education has been providing a restructuring of how we see health and wellness in our community, providing access to yoga classes for the kids, working with IEP students, and also with the faculty. The faculty definitely can use some type of centering, some type of grounding during these times. However, what else is there? So you can hit up support at uedc.com. I'll put the email in the link. What else is there? What else is there? If you want to add that to like any of your work or any organization you're part of. What else is there? There is some other fun stuff happening. There's a single out live from Costa Rica, Blue Spirit. Thanks to no commercials, DJ Thrill, he was on last week's episode. He came through, dropped off some love. And last bill to pay, that's it, to my knowledge. Some more is gonna come, but we'll get there when we do. Nope, turn you off. Okay, and so last week we was rapping a little bit about friends and the word friends and calling people authentically what they are in your life. So that would be, instead of calling someone you just met a friend, you can call them like an associate, someone that I just met. And from there you can build you all's relationship on solid grounding because you have a more complete sense of who they are and what you could expect from them moving forward. And I wanted to expand that a little bit more because it's more to it than just that word friend. It could be it could be, I did some writing. Oh my gosh, I hit a couple pages. I was like differentiating between like and love because a lot of times a big one is like, oh, I love that, and everything is love, everything is beautiful, everything is great, everything is all these different things, or all these amazing things. So now our view of what reality is up here, and then we start to feel little because we don't feel like we live up to those expectations. And Instagram doesn't necessarily help social media per se if we look at it with that type of mindset. So one thing that we can do is adjust the words that we use to describe reality. Call it what it is. If you're on any of the streaming platforms, by the way, you can chime in, jump in on the Zoom link, thefloatingyogi.com, midday meditation. Sign up for next week. It's the same link. Just keep coming back and vibing. What else is there? And also, I wanted to double tag in. There's Monday Night Book Club. We're reading The Only Way Out Is In, and they also talk about how the mind works. The mind looks at it has different tastes, different textures, and that's how it describes reality. We have like soft, hard. We have abrasive and smooth. Then there's like different. Let me explain some tastes: sweet, sour, salty, pungent, bitter. Then there's like, here's the system. Ba-da-da-da. Yeah, sweet, sour, salty, pungent, bitter, and astringent. And those are like the main tastes. And our mind starts to break down the foods that we eat, starts to break down the nutrients that we're receiving based on these scents. So the book is great. I already have that one recorded, so you can go back and check it out anytime. Please send me a DM. I'd love to chat about this shit. Not everyone has these combos. So what that does, when we start to better describe, I love this, I like this, I hate this, I don't like this, I dislike that, and giving it like a hierarchical sense in our mind, that will allow us to then choose like that middle path. So Buddha always preached like the middle way. Find right, find left, and then go the middle way. Find the highs, find the lows, and then find the way you can meet in between. So I feel like that's what we need to do with our words a little bit more. Before we got on, I was rapping with Austin about friends and like giving that authentic name. Who are you? Like, are you my friend? Are you this person? Are you like, who are you? And a lot of times I've met people virtually that I had a better friendship with, who were there emotionally, like just there for me, as opposed to people that I met in person. So it's been interesting. Relationships can develop in so many different ways. So I don't like limiting them to like romantic relationships, or limiting them to like, this is a friend. Like, no, we all have relationships with each other. The relation is how we relate to each other, and the shift is where we're going. Austin, I wanted to get your thoughts on like friends, because you started going, and I was like, oh, hold up, let me get some of this.
Look, let's get this on camera. Look.
Yeah, like.
But yeah, as you was talking, it just made me really think about just how we're all connected. Everything and everyone is all connected. So even in that, when you give a name or a title or a nickname or whatever to someone, there comes with it a certain amount of energy. There comes with it certain emotions that you're giving with it. So I just find it really deep with the fact that we're all connected. So even if you look at it from the concept of relationship, whether it be a romantic relationship, friendship, acquaintance, whatever, if you're not equally yoked, as you would say, if you're not on the same page, this person and that person, if one person is giving acquaintance energy, but this one's trying to give friendship energy, the whole relationship is going to be out of balance. So having our boundaries, having our relationships, our friendships, our connections with others clearly defined is so important, and not calling people outside of their title or outside of their name, because what you're giving may not be what they're giving. You may not be receiving for what you're giving out. So that reciprocation is not going to be there, and you're not going to be getting all the energy that you should be getting out of the relationship. So that's what that made me think of.
Yeah, man, that equivalent exchange, that is powerful. We were talking about last week, the vampires who are like taking from you constantly. You leave from them and you feel drained. You're like, dang, I was in a good mood, but nothing's wrong, but it just feels a little off. Like, what's going on?
Right.
And when you mentioned that, that just spawned, you opened the door. Thanks for opening the can of worms. Um, there's a huge concept of identity. One of the things I've been doing is working with the kids about identity, knowing themselves. Generally, it's been athletes, and it's getting them to see themselves outside of what it is that they do, this position they play in this game. And also taking some of those tools that they acquired while they were playing those games, that determination that they picked up, the quick decision-making skills that they picked up, analyzing the big picture, that we don't really account for on paper. It's a conscious thing, and which only develops like in those real life moments, like right being on the spot with all the nerves. So we take that and allow them to extract some of the skills that'll help them in day-to-day life, so they don't feel as though they are nothing without playing this game. And another concept is we don't really talk much about identity. There was like a podcast a while ago. We mentioned, I was talking about the 4 dimensions of the mind. And it's really like more because a lot of them are components of memory, but I digress. There's buddhi, which is intellect. There's manas, which is memory. There's ahankara, which is identity. And there's chitta. We don't have an American word for that, but I like to akin it to flow state. Like when you're in that flow state. So that really translates for dancers, for anyone who uses their body or uses their mind and gets into a rhythm of things. And the important thing is we don't really talk about identity, because the identity is so crucial. Because once we have a concept of identity, I look at it like this. The intellect is like a knife. We sharpen it by like reading information and by doing things. We're like, yeah, I know how things work. I can intellectualize it. We are in a state now that we try to intellectualize a lot of feelings and experience-based things. Yoga is one of those. So once we sharpen that knife, the identity is the hand that holds that knife and guides it. So how errant and how all over the place would you be, helter-skelter would you be if you have a shaky hand, a limited identity holding a sharp knife? So the concept is piecing these together in a framework that we can use to better ourselves and understand how reality is working, and how our mind space works. I talked about cheetahs and memory. There's like a boatload different types of memory. It's like 8 of them jokers, but we'll get into them another time. I'm gonna do a podcast once I get some of these comments. I see you Instagram. I'm gonna check in a minute once I get some of these comments flowing. But yeah, thanks for that, Austin. I appreciate it.
Hey, no problem, bro.
Amber, anything hit you over this past week? Anything else you wanted to add?
No, I mean, what Oscar said was amazing and very on point, but it just made me think about boundaries, because there's sometimes people in your life don't realize that it's not an equivalent exchange. Like, you know, that sometimes they take energy from you without realizing that they're overstepping boundaries. Mm-hmm. And it's so important to enforce them for yourself as an act of love for yourself and for the other person. Just like, hey, in order for me to show up as my best self, I need you to stop sucking my energy, you know? Yeah, on 1,000.
Preach.
Right. Yeah, back to those energy vampires. And I've just been, I think it was Austin, and I was DMing you, and it was Tony about creating space, like from those people. Not like, there's a difference between I'm gonna X you out of my life, you're good, you're gone, I'm done with you, or it's just, I just need my space. Maybe we orbit around, I call them orbits when I see people, because we're like floating things in space. Anyway, so when I orbit around someone, I'm like, yeah, maybe it's like 2 months. Maybe I see someone once a week. Maybe I see someone once a year. We have different orbits, but the relationship doesn't change. It's just we orbit around each other differently. Our lifestyles, our life just doesn't meet up at this time. But when it does, all that energy, all that momentum comes back. It's like, boom, yeah. that being said, y'all are giving me something. We're gonna do some breath work and then a meditate and jump into the meditation. Yeah. So you can meet me in a seated position with a tall spine, shoulders back, chest up. Close the eyes and lower the gaze. And just allow yourself to settle. Allow yourself to feel the gravity as the muscles soften. Feel the skin pull, that downward drag. Not just the skin, feel the muscles, feel the bones. From the crown of the head to the eyebrows, ears, cheeks, creases of the mouth, jaw, and then take an inhale to fill that space. And exhale it out. And maybe the shoulders sink a little bit more with that exhale. Feel the weight in the hips and the sits bones, the legs, the feet. And with all that weight pressing down, from the sits bones, press down. Allow the chest to lift up. And we'll take that alternate nostril breathing. The peace fingers come to the forehead, the right thumb covers the right nostril, and the peace fingers and the pinky and ring cover the left. Exhale everything out the lungs. Inhale through the left, all the way up to the peace fingers, and exhale through the right. We'll do it again. Inhale through the left, all the way up to the peace fingers. Feel that cool air. Exhale through the right. Inhale through the left. Exhale through the right. Switch. Inhale through the right. Exhale through the left. Inhale through the right. Exhale through the left. Soften the body and inhale through the right. All the way up to the peace fingers. Exhale through the left. One more round. Inhale through the left. Notice if it feels different. Exhale through the right. Inhale through the left. Check that posture. Exhale through the right. Inhale through the left. Exhale through the right. Last set of 3. Inhale through the right. Exhale through the left. Inhale through the right. Exhale through the left. Last one through the right. And out the left. side, and maintain that posture. Maintain the chest up, the clavicle, the shoulder blades where they are, the shoulder girdle. And all we're doing is just watching the breath. Maybe the nostrils are a little bit more moist from holding them. And you can feel the cool air coming in. And the warm air going out. Use that extra awareness to focus in on the breath. Yourself to sift. Sensations, images, feelings, and thoughts. And to give them accurate representation in your mind with those words. Finding the highs and the lows and choosing your middle path. Whenever you get too lost into a sift, soften the body. Return to that posture. Return to the breath. And count it. inspiration's gone. Maybe your senses have changed. Use it to your advantage. And remember, anytime you're lost too deep in, pull yourself back. Align the posture and count it. After a while, after the meditation, notice which ones really give you a stir. Which words we have the most difficulty separating and defining. Whatever's open, you can start to put it away. Any folders you have, any thoughts, any sift you got lost in, or chose to go in. We'll bring the hands to prayer, and we'll close with 3 breaths. First one, in and out through the nose. Last 2, in through the nose and out through the mouth. Breathe with me. Exhale it out. Inhale. Out through the nose. Inhale again. Out through the mouth. Find the height of that last inhale. Inhale above it. Behind it, below it, in front. And let it go. Thanks for practicing. Thanks for holding space, for sharing. Yeah, take your time coming back. It could be a minute. I'm gonna check IG comments, and I want to hear from y'all. What words really caused a stir for you? Which ones were challenging for you to rename or relabel or titles? Excellent. Alright, I'm back. The ones that stood out for me was love. Love was a challenging one to not define for myself, but to articulate my definition to others. Because I have a good idea of what it is for me, and it shows with the people that I deal with. However, articulating the mindset behind love is hard as hell. Because I look at it as a mindset, and I know a lot of people see it as action. So, yes, it is action. Sometimes it's the attempt of action. Sometimes it's a failed attempt. Sometimes it's a win. But it's more so the thought process of keeping this person in mind while you're going about your life on this whole other thing. So clearly, I still haven't pieced it together. But that was one that I was like, okay, all right, this might be something that I could dibble and dabble into. If you on IG and you have something, oh, someone did. Throw it in the chat. Austin Amber, if you care to share, I'm with the share. Let your face shine and welcome you.
They sat down, don't they?
Huh?
They gotta wait till you sat down, don't they?
Right? It be like that sometimes. I'm about to turn this one off. Alright, IG. Yeah, good to go.
There you go. Love you, mean it, and goodbye.
Yup. It ain't want to be up anyway. The tripod ain't work for it. It broke or something. I don't know. Figure it out. But yeah, I wanted to hear from y'all. Was there anyone that stood out to you? I know if you don't got time, we are a little over today.
Oh, shoot, I got time. But, darling, you want to go first? I definitely don't want to be rude.
Ladies first.
Well, I actually ended up getting kind of stuck in trying to define how I'm feeling, because I usually only describe it as good or bad, but I don't feel like that binary is true a lot of the time. So I was actually just trying to check in with, well, what am I actually feeling? What's actually going on? What is it that is making me think, okay, I feel bad, and what is actually making me feel good? Realizing that I actually have like quite a complex mixture of different feelings.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's why for me the sift was so crucial, because it helped me to differentiate. I knew about sensation, I knew about images, but the feelings and thoughts, I would mix up the feelings and thoughts sometimes. Like, so the part gave me and it's literally over time. The more you do it, the longer you sit with it, you can start to feel the difference between them. Like, this is a true feeling. This is a gut feeling. I feel it in my body. And another one can be a want that is then expressed lightly in the body. Like, well, yeah, I kind of want to do it. And a great example that me and my boys were talking about was hunger. We were talking about hunger, and I don't know if I talked about it on one of the podcasts before, but we were talking about, like, when was the last time you were hungry? That was the question to the group. And everyone was like, man, I'm hungry now. Yeah, I haven't eaten in, it's been 3 hours. And you hungry? Like, genuinely hungry? Like, your body needs sustenance, or you just want to eat? Or it's routine? I mean, like, I'm hungry. I feel it. Like, and then we mentioned, like, other times, like fasting. I started fasting. I eat after 2 p.m. I stop eating after 12 a.m. and I start eating after 2 p.m. So about roughly 14 hours a day that I don't eat. And a little over half. And it was to get me in a mindset, but that they gave me an idea of, like, when I'm really hungry. Because then first the body starts eating away. And this book gets into this. Ooh, my goodness. I think we even got into some of the chapters. The body, like last week or the week before, the body starts eating away some of the toxins, the fats, like that stored nutrients. And then it starts to eat away at itself. But you feel the transition, because it's just like eating anything. If you're eating something that is, like, good to eat and process, it's gonna flow through you a little bit smoother. But if you eat McDonald's, that joint is gonna be out you in like 2 minutes, and you're gonna be starving still. So it's like, pick your poisons. Like, what do you want? You want to constantly eat something that isn't gonna do something for you, or You want to, you want to constantly eat at times you don't need to, or you're going to discipline yourself to choose a time frame, so then you can get a better understanding of your health. And that's why this book is good too, because they break down how we can get an understanding of our health, of our feelings, of our emotions, and then from there create our own balance. It's not about follow these rules. It's about, yo, it's a whole rack of shit out there, but these are things that ancient Chinese and Indian have said, this has been working for us, and damn it works for me. So I guess it's still ringing true. Austin, my guy, what was it for you?
So ironically, well, first things first. One thing that I did notice is, I grew up, and I don't know if I've told you this before, so excuse my repetitiveness if I am, but I grew up being able to see spirits, feel energy, dreams that came to pass, all that. So I've always been very aware of the spirit world from a very young age. And so one of the first things I usually feel when I'm really getting into the place of meditation, when I know there's not a blockage, is I'll feel the energy going back and forth between my hands. And that was the very first thing that I noticed, that sensation of that warmth. Because it's relatively cool in this room, but I felt that warmth.
But you can feel that, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I was like, well, all right, we're getting somewhere today. I can feel that already. But ironically, when you brought up love, that reminded me, that rang true with me, because I know that's one of the biggest things that I've been working on for these past 2 years. You hear everybody talking about the dark night of the soul. Well, I've had a dark 2 years of the soul. It's been a long time. Okay?
It's been a long night.
Look, I'm tired, all right. But yeah, because love has always been a very difficult thing for me to receive, because I dealt with abuse as a child in a church, as a matter of fact. So I went through all that kinds of mess. My own family was not really super loving as far as my parents were concerned. My grandparents were always very affectionate, but that gave me kind of mixed emotions when it came to love. So I wandered and looked for love in all the wrong places, as you can imagine. So really just these past couple of years have really been about me doing some deep digging and getting rid of any toxicity that didn't need to be there, and really finding the truth of my emotions, really finding me, my genuine emotions that's been buried up under a whole lot of mess. So long story short, when you had mentioned love, that's the main thing that I struggled with when I felt that sensation come up. And not just because of all that, but because, well, I guess this kind of does that, because I'm an extremely expressive person when it comes to love for a male. Like, most dudes will sit there and look like, they gonna look at you cross-eyed and like, all right.
Like, why you doing that? Yo, you simping. That's the word they're using now. Oh my goodness, yeah.
Yeah. They just looking at you cross-eyed. But see, my mentality, and maybe it's just me, but I've never seen the problem with an expressive male. Whether it's towards females or males, just the fact that we can embody that love and be that comfort or that compassion or that support or whatever it may be to a person, whether they're a male or a female, not being afraid of that expression. That's always been my hang up, because I've always been expressive, but I've been shut down so many times in the past where you shouldn't do this or you shouldn't say that, or you definitely ain't supposed to be that expressive towards other males. I don't care if it's your best friend or not, because that might be suspect, and it's like, no, if you don't go have a seat, George, because the fact of the matter is supposed to embody that love, which, the Creator made us for a reason, and they talk about God is love, quote unquote, and everything. But the fact of the matter is, if He is love, He's supposed to embody that love, and there should be no hindrances or blockages to that love, because it's love is the highest frequency that there is as far as the emotions. So that's what's going to have the greatest impact and the greatest healing on people. But because of our society, we put up our own little roadblocks and hindrances to our healing as well as other people's healing. Mm-hmm. So yeah, long way, but that's what I got.
Yeah, and differentiating, like, there's different types of love. Like there's romantic love, there's love for like a brother, there's love for like a sister, there's love for a child. There's so many different types of love. But I feel like just how we've done with these other words, just molded them all together like and love and beautiful and great. There's no regular and or average is offensive in a sense. Like, I mean, it's got to be average somewhere, someone. It's not offensive. We everything is all skewed in a sense, and once we get back to like having loving friendships, I feel as though our relationships would be able to thrive, and understanding the difference when it comes to like relationships, like if you can better understand how the different genders actually like to give and receive love, and I feel like that's an important distinction because men and women were very different, and a woman would express and talk to her girls different than a guy would to his guys. So when we're coming together, if you have male friends that you're not sexually active with, that changes things. If just regular male friends that you're not sexually active with, then you get a better gauge for the ones that you are sexually active with. You can see how a man actually works in general, and it's like, oh no, I know how to compliment these situations. But that can go down a whole nother tangent. But us understanding and redefining how we see our love, like what love is, and not being ashamed of it. That's another one. I tell my bros I love them all the time. I don't, what? Nah, I'm gonna make it weird. I'm gonna make it weird on purpose. So then everyone else is like, oh nah, Jarek's the weird one who loves his friends out loud. Well, I feel a little bit better to love my friends a little less loud, but more than I do now. Bet I'm here for that. That's the growth we need to see in this world. So yeah, I'm gonna love my friends hard. I love y'all. I love my supporters. I love the people who come and share. I love you, Austin, Amber. Like, yes, thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. Or else, I'd just be here talking to myself. I'd have been clicked off. So, all right, we'll wrap this thing up. Last little bit. Please check out the schedule. There is the Monday Night Book Club. Like I mentioned before, a lot of these topics are covered in here, and The Only Way Out is in. And there's another book that I'm gonna bring in from some excerpts that have some awesome concepts with love. I might bring that in next week. Osho be dropping gems. However, this book club is The Only Way Out is in. Check it out Monday night at 6 p.m. Eastern. And we're back here, Midday Mind Right, every Thursday at 12 p.m. Eastern. What else is there? There's Tuesday night where we do Ashtanga at 6. We can flow virtually, we make it happen, and same with Saturday. So 2 more days. We got another class. We can flow. 10:30 a.m. Let's get it. Whoa! Eastern. Outside of that, there is still, last but not least, the Halloween Yoga Getaway. That is still happening. I'm excited. Some of the decorations and stuff are coming in. And G came up with a very cute costume idea. So I'm going to be dressing up. I'm not a big dress up person, for those who do not know at all. It's not me, but this is the last time I dressed up. I worked for UPS, and I came as the UPS man.
Not no.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Anyway, I digress. Check it out. Tickets and everything on the website. There's a discount running now for the last couple spaces we have available. Thanks again for flowing with me, y'all. Thanks for growing. Hopefully I see you next week. Peace and love, kings, queens, and gods.
Hey, same to you, big man.